Huh? Kawasaki, what the f? So Kawasaki has recently announced the 2025 NAV4E, which is billed as a first ever neighborhood activity vehicle, which is essentially a glorified golf cart. And this shows up on the Kawasaki website, I guess in their power sports section, but I kind of want to go over this. And while this NAV4E is impressive, I will admit there's some pretty cool stuff on it. It's giving neglect for some of the other product lines. Let's discuss that. Hey y'all, I wanted to cut in here real quick and share with y'all my Beacons page at beacons.ai/Burrows Point. Here you'll find everything Burrows Point and the links to all the rest of my content. Here also you'll find some affiliate links. I've been hard at work to forge partnerships to bring value to you, the Burrows Point audience, in the form of promo codes that you can use on these company websites in order to obtain discounts on their products. Feel free to visit any one of these websites and use promo code Burrows Point at checkout for the discount listed. Again, you can find all these links on beacons.ai/Burrows Point. And now back to the program. So in case you missed it, the NAV4E is capitalizing on a lot of these golf cart communities, areas where you can drive a golf cart or similar type of vehicle on the roadway as long as it's got some certain lighting and licensure requirements and all that. And even in some places in Florida, there are golf cart communities where you literally can just get by on a daily basis by having one of these neighborhood electric vehicles. And in complete transparency, I've considered buying one as well. A lot of stuff that I do bopping around town, I wouldn't ever leave the neighborhood or something like that. So yeah, I've considered, running up to the Piggly Wiggly on me a little golf cart. And these little electric golf carts are pretty neat. There are a few of them that come with some pretty cool features. And so it looks like Kawasaki is trying to get into that space. And this video is not about the NAV4E or about any of that stuff. This is not a review. I am not testing this vehicle. This is not what this is about. It's more focusing on the NAV4E, its release, the features on it, and then let's take a look at what Kawasaki is doing with their motorcycle line. And what is notable about this NAV4E is that it is being assembled in the United States. So something to be said, maybe they're doing it because they have the tooling and stuff here, maybe because their production lines for the mule are here. I'm not quite sure. But maybe tariffs have something to do with it. I don't know. And the NAV4E base model is a pretty stripped down model, has basic features. But what I take issue with here is the NAV4E Limited. The NAV4E Limited comes with a 7-inch high-grade full-color TFT screen with Apple CarPlay, Android Auto, navigation, and more. Now, all this stuff on the Nav is impressive. The fact that it's got a nice little display, and it's got navigation, and it's got Apple CarPlay, Android Auto, all that stuff is pretty impressive. And it's apparent that they've thrown in a lot of R&D into this product and a lot of love and a lot of, I guess, investment into this product. And what is interesting about that is they're breaking into a space that's already pretty flooded with Chinese golf carts from a bunch of different brands that are already out there. They're serving that same purpose. So they're kind of trying to edge their way into pretty much a saturated market. And I guess they're trying to show up with some kind of premium option. Now, if you've been following my channel, you know that I'm a fan of the big bagger motorcycles that Kawasaki produces, specifically the Vulcan Voyager and the Vulcan Vaquero. But this is my gripe with this whole situation. If you take a look at one of the newest motorcycle models that Kawasaki has released, and that would be the Ninja 1100 SX. This was, when it was released several months ago, touted as one of the best, I guess, information packages that was on a Kawasaki motorcycle. But if you look at the display, it's kind of quaint. Now you have to understand this is on a sport touring motorcycle, so they don't have a lot of room, especially since this is a sport touring motorcycle that's based off of a sport bike. But this infotainment system does show a little bit of the germane information, although it's not nearly as expansive as maybe it could be. But what's missing from this display system is Apple CarPlay and Android Auto. Instead, they want you to depend on Rideology, the app, and then whatever other subscription-based model they want to tie you to. They don't give the rider an option on the most advanced motorcycle that they've produced, with the information system being the most advanced that they've ever produced. They don't give the rider the option like they do on the nav to have that Android Auto and the Apple CarPlay connection free of charge. If this in-house information system is so awesome, why would they not put it not only in the motorcycles, but put it in the golf cart as well? The nav. Why are motorcycle riders the ones getting stuck with this? But how is it that you have, on one hand, this golf cart that has all this technology and everything in it, but yet on the motorcycle side of the house, you're kind of neglecting things, and you've got a kind of basic display, but you won't add Apple CarPlay or Android Auto. You won't give us those options, but you'll put them on the golf cart. And to make things worse, if you really wanted to compete with some of the premium bagger options out there, Harley Davidson, Indian, they've got infotainment systems that are pretty out there. And you could, theoretically, take that infotainment system that you stuck in this golf cart, re-engineer the fairing on the Voyager or the Vaquero, stick that sucker in there, and then off you go. You've already got a reliable platform in the engine. You've got a reliable platform with the chassis and the suspension and the transmission and all that other stuff. Just redo the fairing, and boom, stick that freaking infotainment system that I can't talk. Stick that freaking infotainment system that you put in the freaking golf cart, put it in the bagger and in the touring bike, and you have an instant competitor to some of the premium options that are out there. I guess I'm just sitting here scratching my head trying to figure out what Kawasaki's overall strategy here is. To borrow a phrase from my military days, I'm confused by your tactics, sir. Now, again, I know that Kawasaki, when they do these things, when they design motorcycles, they're designing motorcycles and they ride the cash cow out, and they don't want to put any more R&D dollars back into that product until they get their investment out. And I know as a whole, Japanese cruisers are on the way out because reasons. And I do like the fact that Kawasaki can come in on this current design and come in at about $10,000 less than your Harley Davidson or Indian analogs. But how much really would it increase the costs to put that infotainment system in there and redo the fairing while keeping everything else the same? And like I mentioned in one of my previous videos, you could, just like they did with the nav, have a premium option where you have the cool infotainment system and all that other stuff in there, and then have your standard stripped down model over here. It wouldn't be that much of a stretch to do that. But like I said, I guess at the end of the day, what I'm concerned about here is you would think that all things being equal, that Kawasaki's motorcycle lines would be progressing technologically with improvements and getting better and being competitive in the market, that would progress on the same trajectory as all the other products are. And it doesn't seem that way. When you tout that, oh, we have a cool little display and we put a USB-C port and whoa, we have technology on your motorcycle, on your newest motorcycle, the brand new sport touring motorcycle that you're so hot to trot about, and then you have a golf cart that's got better technology on it, So it just leaves me scratching my head. Kawasaki, what are y'all doing? I mean, as a rider, as a Kawasaki consumer, I'm just baffled. I don't know what else to say. So here's hoping they can figure it out over at Kawasaki. I just kind of at a loss. But anyhow, I want to know what y'all think. Has anyone here bought the new Ninja 1100 SX? Do you have this new display? Are you using the Rideology app? Are you using your technology in lieu of their technology to run your motorcycle and all that stuff? If you have a Kawasaki bagger, would you spring an extra $2,000, $3,000, $4,000, $5,000 for that same setup in the golf cart to be put there in the fairing of your motorcycle and having something competitive with the technology options on the Indian and the Harley Davidsons. Would you spring for that extra money, or would you just go with the same what's been out there for years, the same design that we all love and enjoy? Leave a comment below, let's discuss it, and as always, I'll catch you guys on the next video.